and welcome back to Primate Happy Hour. You know, it's episode 3. We're still here. We're still thriving. We made it through what seemed to be the longest January ever, at least in America. January 6th. I say no more. But, you know, we're here. It's February. We're living our best life. Valentine's Day is this weekend. You know, couples, thruples, poly, you know, single, celebrate. But we all know the most important holiday is February 15th, better known as Clearance Chocolate Day. Because, child, all them truffles, them turtles, 50% off. Bet you know I'm going to be there. So, I'm coming through. Just wait and see. But, you know, thank you for tuning back in. And we're now back to episode 3. And so, this episode, I want to kind of dedicate it to actually a particular lemur that I met before at Duke Lemur Center in Durham, North Carolina. But I used to volunteer at the Lemur Center, and then I actually volunteered one Sunday that happened to be on Valentine's Day or whatever day I volunteered on. And, you know, his name was Herschel. He is a black and white ruffed lemur. And so that's the species we're going to be talking about today is the black and white ruffed lemur. But Herschel, I miss you every day, dude. You're my homie. But, you know. Anyways, on that fateful Valentine's Day, Herschel gave me a hug. Duke Lemur Center, I'm sorry, rewind that, delete it, do not talk about it, that never happened. But for the non-Duke Lemur Center people, he hugged me. It was a gorgeous time. I miss it. I miss it so much. But you know, cheers to this last bit of margarita tequila mixed cha. Ooh. Okay, so, like I said, today we're going to be talking about the species that Herschel is, and that is a black and white ruffed lemur. They're actually quite large. They're actually the largest of their family of the lemurs. They're not comparatively big compared to, you know, other primate species, but out of the lemur family. And so their scientific name is Varecia, variegata, variegata. Varecia, variegata, variegata. That'll be my number 1 single. Hear it out. But anyway, so I just want to point out this huge distinction. Lemurs are not monkeys. Monkeys are the actual specific type of primate, which lemurs are not. They're a strepsirrhine. So do not go to the zoo, do not go to the Duke Lemur Center and call them monkeys. They are in fact lemurs. That is the type of primate they are, is a lemur. Like I said, they're considered strepsirrhine, and actually, fun fact of the day, but there'll be several of those, I'm sure, is that they're some of the most primitive primate species, so they have a lot of primitive traits, meaning before we branched off into the different groups of primates you see today, they probably retain some of the original traits of our all-common shared ancestor. Evolution, if you don't believe it, I don't know why you want this channel, because it ain't for you, boo-boo. But, so they're only native to Madagascar, and so we've all seen the movie, Alex, Marty, y'all, what's up? But that's where the lemurs are found naturally, are going to be on Madagascar. However, though, there's actually an island just off the east coast of Madagascar, Nazi-Mangabe. Sorry, anybody from Madagascar who speaks their language, I know I messed that up, but it's an island off the east coast, and I think that some of them brought them over there, and now they kind of have their own population there. But a little bit more about this species. So they primarily live in tropical forests, and they're arboreal primates, so they're going to spend most of their time high up in that canopy, high on the top of the tree. You know, they're relatively super active compared to a lot of like your larger apes, your larger primate species may not be as necessarily active. For these, they're generally kind of a super active species, in my opinion, at least. So like I mentioned earlier, they're the largest of the lemuridae family. So the lemuridae family actually does not include all lemurs, but just a few species of lemurs. And this is the largest of that. They usually are about the same size. There's not too much sexual dimorphism in this species. They're about 2.5 to 4.8 kilograms. However, generally speaking, females weigh more than males, and which is kind of rare. Usually, a lot of, depending on the mating behavior and whatever, generally you see the males are the larger or exhibiting, these sexual characteristics. But in a lot of lemur species, the females are usually more dominant, and in this case, way more than most males do. Furthermore, females have actual longer tails than the males. That was kind of like a fun fact that I figured I wanted to put in here just because I didn't know that before doing this research. But comes to beg a question. So guys, in this case, I'm talking to my male lemurs here, my male black and white ruffed lemurs. This size, no. Anyways, what I was saying is that females have longer tails than the males in this species. Ooh, that's kind of a tongue twister. Females have longer tails than the males. Females have longer tails than the males. Females have I guess it's not, because killed it. And a physical description of it, and I'm going to put a picture somewhere in this video right around now. We just gotta. We a picture like right there of this beautiful species. But obviously, it's the common name is black and white ruffed lemur, so it's going to be a black and white species. They're all over the place. And another cool, fun fact that I found out is that, generally speaking, they're kind of unique patterns. So it's kind of like, if you think about dogs that have the white and black, it's kind of just super unique. And they're kind of like the snowflakes of lemurs. And, that just makes them more dope, in my opinion. But okay. Moving forward. Sorry, I gotta scroll up for my notes. So, this species is kind of weird, but it's not weird for lemurs, just it sounds weird for us and for think about other mammal species. The females only go into estrus for about 1 week for the entire year. 1 week, the traits start to change, so you'll see some change in males and females. Their vagina, the genitals, opens up, and so only for that week are they in estrus, in other words, fertile, ready to have a baby, and only in this time zone, only in this week or so, is the only time they engage during sex. Otherwise, you just don't see that, which, I'm sorry. So, in this case, their mating system is that the females are polyandrous. And so what that means is that they're mating with multiple males. So, they eliminate the idea of paternity confidence. And so, in a lot of species, if the male knows that for sure that that's his baby, he's going to be less likely to care for it. And so, this is kind of a way that evolution happened, where the females competed with that. It was like, well, we can mate, we have intercourse, we can get it on. But you may not know it's the baby, because I'm also mated with your brother, your uncle, and your next door neighbor. Okay. Anyways, okay. This is one of the few primate species that regularly have multiple offspring, so I try to find averages all over the place. So if you study one field site, you might have something completely different. But what I found through my research was this is 1, 2, 3 offspring is the average range. And so you don't really see that. It's usually less common in these primates than it is for humans to have twins. And so for this case, it'd be kind of a regular offspring thing. It's kind of cool to think about. And they have this thing that's called nest transferring. So usually they have several nests throughout their territory zone. And so that way, they just kind of carry the baby. They travel all together, daytime, depending on the sun, depending on the food, depending on the season. But so once the infant is a certain age, excuse me about the sneeze. Well, I'm a psychic. Just kidding. It's my body. Of course I knew. But so for the while, the infant will stay in one spot until it's a certain age, and then that's when we start seeing that next transferring. Y'all still here? Their average lifespan is sadly not too long. It's about 19 years on average. However, we do have some extremes. So I think the oldest that I could find in the wild was 37. And then in captivity, the oldest age recorded was 33. Okay. And so they do depend on more of their sense of smell. So they have what's called prognathism. And so that just means that their snout is going to be kind of further out. And so if you think about your dogs, your cats, you know, they kind of have that like snoutish face. And so do these primates. So they rely more on the sense of smell. They don't. So we kind of evolved with our like depth of vision to make sure that we could travel through trees. Well, not we, but a lot of other primates. But they're still depending on their sense of smell. They also have a rhinarium, which means wet nose. So again, think about your dogs or your cats, kind of that like wet nose. Most lemurs or all lemurs have these. And so with this species, they also do scent marking. And so males usually mark by rubbing their chin, chest, and neck on the surfaces. My chin, my chest, my neck on a surface. And females, so they really want to walk their territory. They get a little nasty, and they rub their vagina, their anogenital regions on it. And again, this is another fun, and like this is actually like fun fact. Like the others, there's like extra knowledge, but I thought this was a fun fact that. It's said, I can find the source if you don't believe me, but that they only mark on horizontal surfaces. Why, I don't know, but okay. So now I'm going to introduce their type of calls, which means I'm about to act it out of how they sound. But so they do have two types of calls. So the first one is considered like an inconsistent series of roars with random squeals. And so that's the one I think I'm going to be trying to recreate. If I don't stop sneezing, I'm just going to remove my nose. Hasta luego. Although like the monkey from last week, Rhinopithecus bieti, the snub-nosed monkey just... But, so, this is funny. They use that type of call usually in ideas of rejection calls, what I saw. So, like, the males are getting rejected by the females. They'll make that call as well. They use it for other times, but that one just stuck out to me. Like, excuse me, ridiculous, redonkulous. I'm putting that in. And then the other one is a chuck sound. And this is mainly used for a territorial call. So, let me take another sip of this because... So, now is the time. I'm going to first, again, we kind of did it in the first one. I think we did it in the second one too, maybe. I don't know. But, not right now at least, because, But, so I'm going to first make my attempt at the call based off of the memory I remember listening to the video. And then I'm going to play the video, and then I'll recreate it again. And so the video I found from was the National Smithsonian Zoo. So thank you guys. If you need someone to put on your YouTube channel. Do you find yourself in trouble? Are you a boomer not knowing how to work YouTube? Please call me, Thomas Wilson. I can help you help me. So call me now at 1-800-THOMAS-SCOTT-WILSON. Right now. My middle name isn't Scott. My middle name is not Scott. It's nope. It's Cleveland. Wow. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna attempt to make the noise, play the video, then I'm gonna re-attempt to make the noise, and then just a few more facts, and then I'll see you, boos, because I know it's Valentine's Day weekend. If you got a boo, turn up. If you don't, watch some movies, hug up with a blanket, a cuddled buddy, dog, whatever. But okay, so for this one, I want to get into a specific position. I really want to kind of get my mind in the right place. So I'm going to pretend to be this lemur. So usually at the lemur center, they would scream directly at the ground. And I think my guess only is that they did it to, they realized that it kind of echoed louder. And so maybe that helped them. So it was a great alarm clock on an early 6 o'clock morning. But I think for my idea is that they were using it for like echo. You know, if somebody wants to study it, again, call me now at 1-800-THOMAS Cleveland Wilson. Right now. But anyways, yeah. So again, getting into the mind of the lemur. So here we go. I'm so sorry. Okay. Now I'm going to find this video. Sorry for this disturbing video face of me. But here we go. And so, you know what? I think I was pretty close. Like, oh, don't play no more. But, you know, I think I killed it. You know what? I killed it. Anyway, so now we're going to repeat one more time. I nailed it. I'm gonna send this as my audition tape for the next HBO series. I'm fake old enough, young enough to be a teenager on an HBO show. I think I am. Anyways. Now that we got their vocalization covered, just a few more facts. So they are known as frugivores, so that means they're going to eat mainly fruits. However, given seasonal scarcity, especially right now with a lot of issues being deforestation, there's a lot, like most lemur species are not doing great right now. They'll also eat leaves and flowers as well. They're diurnal, so most primate species are, well, I won't say, yeah, most of them are. But some lemurs, a few lemurs are nocturnal, but this one is a diurnal species, meaning they're more active during the daytime. And last but not least, the sad thing is, again, deforestation. Deforestation. I still don't think I said that right. It's a big cause, but so they're critically endangered considered by the IUCN. So spread this video, spread awareness, donate to the Duke Lemur Center, do your research, learn more. Don't eat palm oil in your chocolates for Valentine's Day. It takes out a lot of primate species, or your orangs as well. And so, yeah, thank you.